Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has just landed in New York, a prisoner now in the United States. It was a bold and controversial strike in the middle of the Venezuelan night that took him. U.S. forces shooting their way into that country's capital of Caracas and coming away with President Maduro and his wife, arresting both on charges of narco-terrorism that date back to their 2020 indictment. Reaction from around the world swift and divided amid questions about the legality of the move and what comes next. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken McLeod. President Trump says the U.S. will run Venezuela, at least temporarily, and he says that nation's vast oil reserves will foot the bill to get Venezuela back on its feet. We've got team coverage of this enormous story, including local demonstrations and the shutdown of airspace that has wreaked havoc on many people's vacation plans. But let's begin with CBS's Natalie Brand in Florida, where President Trump announced the strike this morning at his Mar-a-Lago resort.
Nicolás Maduro and his wife arrived on U.S. soil Saturday evening, where they will face federal charges in New York related to drug trafficking and narco-terrorism. President Trump shared this picture after Maduro was captured by an elite military team overnight in what the administration is calling Operation Absolute Resolve.
Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault.
The president detailed the military action from Mar-a-Lago Saturday afternoon, hours after the overnight strike on Venezuela. The operation targeted military facilities and involved more than 150 U.S. aircraft and follows months of military buildup in the Caribbean. President Trump also says the U.S. will run the country until a safer and proper transition can occur, without specifying exactly how that will work.
Well, you know, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground.
Are you concerned that bad elements of the Maduro regime will remain in place?
Well, we know who they are. We're on them. And they're acting much differently now than they would have acted 2 days ago.
The Trump administration is defending its decision not to notify Congress ahead of the strike, but Democratic lawmakers are blasting the move and questioning what comes next.
Yes, Maduro is illegitimate. A lot of leaders are illegitimate in the world, thinking you can simply reach in like we're playing some game of Risk and remove them and then wash your hands of it and everything's fine. Well, we've learned that that's just not the way it plays out most of the time.
Venezuela's vice president insists Maduro remains the leader, calling the U.S. action a violation. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, West Palm Beach.
Protesters gathered this afternoon on Boston Common, calling the operation outrageous and a violation of international law. Our team coverage continues now with WBZ's Logan Hall, who is live for us on the Common tonight.
All right. Yeah, Ken, that's right. Good evening. There are lots of emotions right now being felt across the greater Boston area about what's happening in Venezuela. I've had conversations with Venezuelans who tell me that they feel liberated today, but there is also that protest that happened here on the Boston Common, a sizable protest with a large crowd of people. We're going to show you some images from that protest featuring signs showing people holding these signs saying no war for oil and protesting the U.S. involvement in Venezuela altogether. People that we spoke to today had concerns about the motive for the attack and what the future would hold for Venezuela.
For people to be able to live with sovereignty, to stop just a resource extraction that's just fueling wars and violence all over the world. We don't see this as a single event. We see this as part of a much bigger phenomenon that people are saying no to.
The actions we saw from the Trump administration are a violation of international law. They're also a violation of American law. I think no matter how you feel about our president, if another country came into the United States and kidnapped the U.S. president, we would be outraged.
So coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on WBZ, we'll hear more from folks from this protest. We'll also hear from local Venezuelans about how they feel about what's happening in their home country. For now, reporting live in Boston, I'm Logan Hall, WBZ News.
All right, Logan, thanks for that. As the U.S. military operation unfolded, the Fed shut down a bunch of airspace in the Caribbean to commercial flights. And so, many folks expecting a nice vacation instead arrived at the airport to find their flights canceled. WBZ's Paul Burton has that part of the story now from Logan.
The was canceled at 5:20 this morning.
All the airspace is closed, and I'm sure that's to protect us.
The FAA says major U.S. airlines canceled dozens of flights to the Caribbean, including Puerto Rico, after the Trump administration launched a large-scale attack on Venezuela.
I woke up about 5 a.m. to a text that was sent at 3 a.m. saying that our flight today, which was supposed to take off at 2, was canceled.
Ruth Reedy, who's vacationing in Puerto Rico with 5 other people, is now stuck there. Her Delta flight canceled.
There was absolutely 0 flights available before the 9th. This vacation is going to cost me twice as much as I budgeted for, and I'm a school teacher. I don't have a lot of extra cash lying around.
The move came after the FAA implemented flight restrictions in the region following the U.S. military operation, which included the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores.
If he had waited a couple more days, the whole entire nation would be back to work. People would be back from their vacations. This has got to affect thousands and thousands of school children and teachers.
Several Caribbean flights like this one to San Juan were canceled today here at Logan Airport, leaving travelers scrambling to try and salvage their vacations. The Marquise family of Wilbraham says their Aruba flight was canceled this morning. How much were you looking forward to this trip?
Well, it's his 40th birthday. My husband's 40th birthday today. There was 18 of us that were supposed to be going.
18 of us going down, so we rerouted, so we're
now we're going to Florida.
Now we're going to South Florida. We'll be down there for 6:45. It might not be Aruba, but we're on vacation.
On Saturday, JetBlue said they canceled 215 flights system-wide because of the military activity. Customers can either rebook their travel or request a refund.
Our vacation got a little messed up, but what needs to take place and what's happening is more important than us making it to Aruba.
In Boston, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
We will continue to bring you updates on this developing story on air tonight at 11 and also streaming all the time on CBS News Boston.